Good morning, friends. This is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, and that means I'm journeying through my 40s, working very hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my financial, my physical, and my mental health, and today's video is going to be a financial health check-in. Today is Friday, April the 21st. Happy birthday to my cousin Burl. He turns 40 today. I don't know that he watches my videos, but in case he does, happy birthday, Burl. I am going to be budgeting out the money that you see on my screen, the $2,049.32. This is rollover from last week's paycheck and then just a little bit of cash back. I think I had like $14 of cash back from a couple of credit cards, $14.65 of cash back. So this is rollover from last week and cash back from 2 credit cards. If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope you find this informative, helpful, useful, entertaining. For whatever you are doing, if it's your budgeting journey, your weight loss journey, and you just clicked on this video accidentally, or if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and sticking with me and supporting me. Y'all are my backbone and my support and my accountability partners, and I appreciate you more than I can tell you. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you're not new, you know it's 7:30. I have 30 minutes to do this, and I need to get started because I have to be to work in 30 minutes, which is right there. Like, I don't have very far to go. I just need to turn my chair around and like start working. But I do have to wrap this up, and I actually do have stuff to do. So this is a little different. If you're new, I do a weekly budget, but I am paid bi-weekly, which is why I have a rollover amount. Every other week, I get a paycheck, and whatever is left, I put down in a category for next week for the weeks that I don't have a paycheck. And that's where this $20,000 should be lovely. $2,000 is coming from. It's left over from last week's paycheck. But normally at the end of the month, I close out and I zero out my budget and I'll start with the new paycheck. I actually have one more paycheck in April because my first paycheck of April was actually my third paycheck of March. I started my April budget on March 31st with my March 31st paycheck. March was a 3 paycheck month. I actually have another paycheck on this like next Friday, a week from today, which is April 28th, but that's going to be my first day of my May budget. So everything is just a little bit off. I do need to roll $450 into my next budget to make everything work. So I'm not going to zero out this budget. I'm going to leave $450 at the end of this to roll over, but everything else will be zeroed out. And I have already worked that out ahead of time. If you're not new, if you are new, what I do is I work my budget out ahead of time in the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom, and I do have a playlist of those, and I will link below how I do my budgets in these. And I also do film closeouts normally. I did not get one filmed for March, and I am so sorry. My March was super busy, and I just didn't get one closed. I do have it closed, so maybe I'll film it when I film my April closeout, and I'll post both of those because I do have it closed. Like, I did my percentages and I filmed it all. I didn't film it all, but I did close it all out. I just didn't film it, and I am so sorry for that. But anyway, I do pre-plan it here, so I know what I need to roll into the next month to make it work, just because it's all off because of the paychecks. The 3 paycheck months are fantastic, and I am not complaining about them, but they do throw my budget off a little bit, the way I'm doing my budget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push y'all up into that corner. Well, not y'all, me. I'm going to push me up into that corner. And then we're going to get started budgeting out what I need to pay. So for me, my budget weeks go from a Friday to a Thursday, since my paydays are Fridays. So this week for me goes from today, Friday the 21st, through next Thursday, Thursday the 27th. So I need to cover all of my bills from between the 21st and the 27th. And I believe last week, if you watched last week's video, I said I was going to be paying my rent out of this week. I am not. I'm paying it out of next week's check. But I am paying a lot of bills out of this check, excuse me. So one of them is my Mattress Firm bill, which actually is due today, which auto debit, so I don't have to go pay it, but it already says that it hit. So this is what y'all are used to seeing, is me saying, this says it's red, but it's not really. Last week, if you missed it, you can go check out where I actually did overpay something and I had to cover. So if you're interested in trying out YNAB, which is the app that you see on the screen, and you're curious about how it handles overspending. If you spend money that you don't actually have in your budget, you can check out my last week's video, because I did actually accidentally overpay on something with money that I didn't have in my budget and I had to cover it. But this I do actually have. I have it set up on an auto draft, and this morning it says it cleared, and I hadn't filled this category yet. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it. I pay $80 a month. This is for my mattress. I have a purple mattress and I love that thing. Oh, I love that thing so much. So that is one that is due. That is the only one that is down, because technically it's an interest-free credit card, which I did not know when I signed up for it. I thought it was just like a line of credit. I didn't know it was a credit card. I probably wouldn't have done it that way. I'm not thrilled about that. The other bills that I have to pay are my internet bill that's due on the 23rd. That is $63.94. And you can see here it says $63.94. That is that just means it's upcoming. And I think I've been saying that is YNAB that does that. And I am sorry, I do believe that's a toolkit function, which is not available in the app. That is only available on the browser. So I am sorry. I think I've been saying that is YNAB that shows you this upcoming, and I do think that is the toolkit feature. Which, if you're using YNAB on your browser, I highly recommend using the toolkit. It's completely free, and it integrates with it. It's there are tons of videos on Toolkit, and I don't really understand it enough to make my own. But if you're curious about what settings I use, just let me know and I will go in and do a video on the settings I use for Toolkit. I really don't fully understand all of it, but I know it changes the color to this blue color, which I like. You can set it up to where it shows you what's upcoming. There's a bunch of different features that I do use, that I do like. And I take for granted. But so my work computer, if I ever check my budget on my work computer, which I don't do frequently, but every once in a while, I will just log in and check it super fast. If I'm in the middle of work and I need to see if I have money for lunch or something, this isn't there, and they have it blocked. So I'm pretty sure that it's a toolkit feature, because it doesn't show me the upcoming. So anyway, I wanted to say that, because I've said that before and I think I'm wrong. My debt consolidation loan is due out of this week, and that is $167. I'm just going to put 167 in here. My Cinemark membership is still on hold, but this is the last month it's on hold. But there are like 3 movies out this weekend that I want to see. So I'm hoping I can use up the last of my credits. I don't have time to go see 3 movies this weekend, but because it's my cousin's birthday, unless he doesn't really like movies, but unless he just decides he wants to go see 3 movies this weekend, I don't think that's going to happen. But that's that I can hopefully go see them. Hopefully go see those movies and use up my credits and then cancel that membership, because that membership is going up. There are actually movies coming out this summer that I want to see, and it is a good deal. It's only going up $1 a month. I don't know. I might keep it a couple more months just for when the kids are here, in case they want to go watch a movie. I haven't decided yet. Seth's car payment is due. I put $325.27. That is the $269.85 minimum payment and $55.42 extra payment to reach the previous minimum payment before we refinanced it of $325.27. Somebody commented, I don't know when they commented because I was so far behind on my comments. Where's my mouse? And asked if I was comfortable having a car financed in my name that somebody else drove because of the liability factor. Yes and no. Yes, I trust him completely. Yes, I understand that other people could sue him and it's technically my responsibility. As a Christian, I understand that. I mean, I suffer myself to be defrauded. I hope that nobody will sue me, but that's a lot. That's a risk in this day and age that, I mean, honestly, you just take living in a house. People could break in and sue you for breaking into your house. So honestly, there's a liability factor for existing. But that wasn't the plan. I had originally financed that car for my niece when she lived with me. I was making horrible financial decisions. This was pre me starting my journey. I was still in my 30s. My niece moved out. She could no longer afford the car payments on that car. Fortunately, a church member, Seth, was looking for a new car around that same time, and he agreed to take over payments, helped me out, helped him out, and he took over payments. He pays me every single month on time. He pays for his own car insurance for this. Like, well, the car insurance is in my name because the car is in my name, but he pays me for it. Um, I've never had a problem with it, and it's worked out great. I understand the liability factor. The plan was for him to put it into his own name because once I started this journey and I realized I didn't want this car in my name anymore, it would be better. It would be doing him good to put it in his name for his own credit's sake, instead of me getting the credit for it being the payments being made on time every month. He should be getting the credit for it being made on time every month. But by the time I realized this and I didn't want it in my name anymore, it was COVID times. And the bank that I checked a bunch of banks and he checked a bunch of banks and none of them were doing personal loans for that. The only way I could get it refinanced was I could do a refinance loan in my name because it was already in my name, but they wouldn't do like a personal like person to person private loan for a car sale. Like that's how they were financing it. That's how they would classify it, as like a personal loan for a car sale. And none of the banks were doing that. At least not at decent interest rates that I could find. My bank said flat out, no, we're not doing that. A couple other banks, like the interest rates were stupid. So we just refinanced it in my name at a lower interest rate, lowered the payments. It worked out okay. And then we figured, okay, once all this has calmed down and the car prices go back down to normal, he can refinance it into his name. Well, now that's kind of happening, except for car prices are going back down. The interest rates are so stupid high, and this has got a pretty decent interest rate. I mean, it's not a fantastic interest rate, it's a second car, but it's a pretty decent interest rate, especially compared to what interest rates are right now. So for him to refinance this or to finance this in his name wouldn't be fair for me to ask him to do that when he took over the payments and helped me out. Like, there's no way he could match this interest rate right now with the way interest rates are. So for right now, this is the best situation for us, for him to just continue this payment. It's not the ideal situation at all, but it is the best situation for right now. Hopefully interest rates will come down at some point and he can put it in his name. Maybe we'll just pay the car off eventually and then we won't have to worry about that. But for right now, that's the story. That's how that happened. And that's why there's a car that he pays for. It's not like he needed a car and I went and financed it for him in my name. That was not the plan. It was something that I had, and he helped me out by taking over payments, because I had made horrible financial decisions in my past, which is why I am on this journey in the first place. Okay. Now I need to continue. So my mom's phone bill, I do pay, and that is $61.79. Those are all of the bills that I have to pay this week. Everything else is a future bill. And then my weekly, these are my cash envelopes. Like if I was doing cash, these are what I would have in my wallet to carry around with me. Every week I give myself $50 for dining out. You'll see I still have some money left over. I was over the previous week and I didn't use all of that. I thought I would for the run fare. I ended up just using the cash that I had for my my stuff I forgot to budget for because they like cash out there. They like it better. So I didn't use my card, so I just used my cash. I actually still have some grocery money left, so that's nice too. I give myself $75 every week for groceries. I give myself $10 every week for fun money and $60 every week for ecclesial expenses. That is $40 for the church donation and $20 for going out for a meal afterwards. And let me clarify this. That $20 that I use for going out afterwards, I do not always use that. I do not even usually use that. So if I don't use that, when I reconcile my budget at the end of the week, at the end of the month, like you won't see it in these videos because in these videos, this is just me planning. But in my closeout videos, if you watch those, since I filmed them, you will see when I use them and when I don't. And I don't normally end up using this $20. I put this in here because I feel like going out for a meal with, as a person who goes to church, and I know not everybody is religious, and that is totally cool. But if you do go, I feel like a big part of fellowship is just eating a meal with your brothers and sisters. That is what the Last Supper was. Christ was sharing a meal with the apostles. We do it symbolically with the communion, with the bread and the wine, but they were not symbolically doing it. They were actually sharing a meal. And so we go to church and we symbolize that with the bread and the wine. But then afterwards, if we want to go to a meal, I feel like that's a big part of the fellowship. For me personally, I feel like I get a lot out of that. And you can actually visit with people and talk with people and catch up with them. And especially if you have visitors in town, I feel like that's a big people from other areas that are other, we call our churches ecclesias, which is why mine's an ecclesial expense. People from other ecclesias that are visiting, I feel like this is an important part. So for me, it's really imperative that I allow myself to have that money to go out for a meal. If I use it, then I have it set aside. If I don't, I just don't. I just, at the end of the week, it's $40 and that's all I have used, and the $20 just rolls right back into my budget. I carry it over into the next week. It's not part of my budget. I do not always use this. I do not even usually use this. But I want to make sure that if everybody is going, or if anybody is going, even if only one person is going, I want to be able to go and participate in that after church meal, because I feel like that's an important part of the church. Then that's how I feel about it. And that's why I put that in there. That's why I separated it out from my dining out, because I didn't always have the money in my dining out, and I felt it was important. And I kept going over in my dining out category to be able to cover that expense. So I separated it out to make sure that I had that money in case I did go. Anyway, I wanted to explain that because I did have a question on that as well. Gas, it is not a week for gas. I fill that every paycheck week, and I did fill it last week. I haven't gotten gas, but I probably will this weekend, because if I don't do something for Burl's birthday, I probably will go see my mom. So one way or the other, I will be driving. I think that is it. And then I definitely have more money left than I should. I definitely have more money left than I should. Well, because I need $450 to roll over to next week. So I am going to roll $450 into week 1. There we go. Yes. That is almost exactly. So this is probably right. $586.32. And now if y'all remember, if you're not new, because if you're not new, then you will remember. If you're new, then obviously you won't remember. I have a balance on my Savor One card. That is the card that I put my cruise on, of $1,483.65. My goal is to pay this off by the end of July. I am putting everything that is left onto my Savor One card. This $586.32 is going toward my Savor One card. $586.32. I will probably not actually... Nope, that is not what I meant. I want to add $586 because I've already made a $100 payment, because that's the minimum payment I make a month. So I want to add $586.32. I will probably wait until my next check hits before I physically make that payment, just to make sure nothing else comes up. But that is my goal. That's about $100 less than I was hoping to make. But that's because I put $50 extra into my giving and $50 extra into my household expenses this month to cover some expenses. So that is everything. Now I have zero money left to assign, which means I am at the end. Hopefully, if I can actually make that payment, that will put me at less than $1,000 left to pay off to my Savor One card. And that will put me on a very good track to pay that card off. And then I will be good. That will be my Best Buy card will be paid off by the first week of June. And that Savor One card will be paid off by July. And then the only thing left is my Mattress Firm, but that's an $80 a month payment. That's not a priority. So like you see, all the rest of my cards are at zero. I pay them off every Friday. The only cards I carry a balance on are my zero interest cards and the Mattress Firm, which I really count as a line of credit. It shouldn't have been a credit card. I didn't realize it was a credit card. When I did it, I thought it was a line of credit. That's everything I have for y'all today. Oh my goodness, I did this all in 20 minutes. I really hope everything I said was coherent, because I feel like that was really fast. Okay. I'm gonna take it. I have 9 minutes before I have to be at work, so I'm gonna go make some breakfast. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend plan. Let me know how your budget is going. How is your April shaping up? I have no idea. I know I say this every month because it's true every month, but I have no idea how we're already in the fourth week. Like, no idea how that's happening. But I am going to go and get some breakfast and start my workday because it's Friday. I'm going up to see my bestie tonight and either going to celebrate my cousin's birthday or see my mom this weekend, one or the other, Lord willing. I hope y'all have some fantastic plans this weekend, and I will talk to y'all later. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out if you did enjoy it. And if you are interested in trying out this program, there is a link in the description box below where you can get a 34-day free trial. If you like it and you sign up, you get an additional 30 days for free if you've used my link, and I will also get 30 days for free. So you get 64 days for free, I get 30 days for free, everybody gets YNAB, everybody's happy. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, I love y'all. Have a fantastic day and an awesome weekend, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.